Yes? Is there something you wish of me? Many who live in the shadow of Old Owlwell have suffered greatly from orc attacks over the years. Families have been put to the sword, homes burned, and traveling merchants have been slaughtered along the high road. The orcs need to be driven back. I did not come with them. Those are men and women who live in Old Owlwell, who are willing to lend me their swords. They have good hearts. Living there has made them tough, capable, and their knowledge of the mountain paths have made them invaluable as scouts. Yes, I thought perhaps by traveling here my sword could make a difference. Give the people living here some hope, if Neverwinter itself could not protect them. I do not have faith in a city or a nation, but the people within it. The people of Old Owlwell, they know the truth of this. It may seem such, but I felt that one man could make a difference, and it seems Neverwinter has joined the cause, and between our two forces we can accomplish a greater good. Very well. I did not inform them of my decision to leave, so I did not part in good graces. I suspect that many of them do not even know why I left. I betrayed my oath to my order, to Neverwinter. I had doubts about my service to Nashor, to the city itself. It was an impulsive decision, and not the correct one. There was no place in Neverwinter for me any longer, and the farther I traveled from Neverwinter's walls, the more I saw what harm was befalling people, such as those at Old Owlwell. The policies of Neverwinter and the health of the city do depend on politics, on trade relations. But if that is the sole focus, then the people in need of aid are sometimes lost in its shadow. I needed to travel to Old Owlwell to try and take direct action, to make a discernible difference in the lives of those who need it. And I feel there we may have succeeded. So for that, I thank you. As am I. Perhaps if there were more ones such as you in Neverwinter's service, it might draw others. Very well. I went there because I felt my sword could make a difference. No other reason. There was a need for action, the need to set an example. To move Neverwinter to act is something beyond my strength. But a greater good has been accomplished, and you have shown that to me. I went alone because I had to. Battling the tribes of the Old Owlwell is something that must be done. It is simple, a necessary act. There is no doubt as to what must be done. No conflicts. There are battles that can be fought and others that cannot. It is a difficult thing to speak of. I appreciate your words and your intentions, but this is something that is difficult to share. Perhaps another time, when the words are easier to find. You are correct. Your presence has steadied me in these difficult times. You have even helped achieve resolution where before there were only doubts. And for that, I thank you. Very well. I went there because I felt my sword.
Oh, look who has a question. And here I'd thought you'd forgotten all about me. You certainly do seem to be showing an interest in Chandra. Or perhaps it's just my imagination. I think you presume too much. As if I care about the opinions of a blind harborman muck farmer. Is there something you need? It is not something I wish to discuss. Let us leave it for another time. If there is something else you wish to ask, then do so. But there are some things which shall remain mine and mine alone. I was the one who sent the animals of the forest to your aid, though there are fewer of them to answer my call than in days past. And yes, I summoned nature to aid you when the second group attacked. It is not something I can explain, but I feel these creatures pursue you for a reason. Where you walk, so do they. You are either a threat or prey to them, and I must discover which. These creatures that hound you are responsible for other crimes. Much rides on this, both from the past and the present. I was uncertain of your goals and your intentions, and whether you are some ally of these creatures. Only during the later stages of the attack did I feel compelled to intervene. It is always in our nature to watch, to observe. To act is at times difficult. It is not something I wish to discuss. Let us leave it for another time. If there is something else you wish to ask, then do so. But there are some things which shall remain mine and mine alone. What did you wish to know? Together we may act to uncover what threatens the land, and if that cause does not move you, then to uncover what threatens you and your people. Let us work together in this, as there is much we may do where alone we would fail. I can hear footfalls in the forests, the secrets the trees whisper, the stories stones tell. I can call upon the land to aid us, or harm those that would harm it. And you know the ways of towns and peoples, of civilization, of things that I know little about. We are two halves of a world, and together we may create a new circle. A window to see into both and share their secrets. Also, whatever is happening, I believe it to be tied to you in some way, and only by traveling with you will such mysteries be made clear. What did you wish to know? The mare is no longer a place I know well, and where it once teemed with life, now it has fallen silent. Something stirs there, but I know not what. It was not always the case. I have spent many years in its depths, learning its ways. And there was much to learn. Always. It's a tale for another time, and there are more pressing concerns. Perhaps in time we may discuss it further. What did you wish to know? Do you think this is the first lifetime I have spent in the mists of Mer de Lane? My life in the mare dates back several lifetimes. Many of my ancestors lie beneath its waters, and my ancestors were there when Mer de Lane gained its human name, before there were even such tiny settlements as West Harbor and Redfallow's Watch. The name means nothing to you, does it? Of course not. The mare claimed it over 50 years ago in its slow march across the land, and before that was the event where it gained its human name. My people once called the mare Mer de Lane, the slow tide or slow marching court, in the times before the wars of men gave it a new name, before humans settled on its shores. And those settlements are mostly gone now. Their manors and castles now ruins, desperately reaching their hands above the water. It is for all who dwell within cities that the land will take again what was taken from it, whether cut stone, carved wood, or fields sliced by the plow. No, for my father perished there in the fog, slain by orc soldiers from the mountains. It is his life that I speak of when I say lifetimes. On the year the swamp gained its new name, there was a great battle fought miles within its borders. Orcs spilling from the mountains drove humans, dwarves, and my people into the swamps, where they were surrounded, and cut down in the fog, trapped in mud where the footings of the orcs proved truer. But there were no need for graves. Their corpses were all embraced and dragged down, and what dead lay upon the surface were taken by the others who dwelled in the swamp. And so, even in the fog, the ghosts still whisper and weep of lost Mer de Lane, the song taken up by countless elven widows that cry across its shores. And always, the mare seeks more dead to draw them down into its waters, down amongst the dead ones. I was orphaned from that battle, when the first of the circle found me, wailing in the mist. In those very ruins you traveled to outside of West Harbor. They gathered me up and I made no sound. And they took me into the heart of the mare to show me its secret ways. And there was always much to learn. In time, though I knew only some of its ways, I became accepted into the circle, and accepted by the mare as well. It was only the last test that I failed. It was an odd test. They wished to send me into the civilized world, to a village on the edge of the mare. But others of the elders refused, and said there was little I needed to learn from a hamlet of outcast humans and dwarves. I do not know. I wish I had been given the test, tried to find out what they intended to teach me. But then I think, perhaps I would have suffered the same fate as the elders and other druids of the mare. I think it was you, or involved you. When I said I did not go to the village to live, well, that was perhaps a half-truth. Many were the times I came to the village at dark, or during the fog of morning, to watch you fall asleep and rise. I watched you for such a long time that I felt I knew you without speaking. I watched as you stared out from your window, across the marsh, and wondered what lay beneath it. I heard your breath in the fog, and I knew what you dreamed of. That something, beyond those walls of your village, that something awaited you, and had for your entire life. And then it came for you, before I could stop it. And as your village burned, I wept for it. I, who had not cried in a century. I failed that test, and I failed you and the circle. And now the circle is no more, and your village is filled with dead ones. Perhaps not, but I cannot help but think if I had taken the watch of West Harbor, then perhaps I could have prevented what was to come. But I shall never know, and it slowly crawls beneath my memories, like the mare itself. What did you wish to know? The mare is no longer a place I know well. Something has built a black wall, something beyond which none of the circle could pass, even with the secret ways. All it touches dies, and it is slowly growing, advancing from the heart of the mare and driving life before it. And without life, without the land to aid us, one without the means to cross that wall is threatened to be consumed by it. Such things are not born of the land. It is a blight, a presence from somewhere else that strikes at Faerun. Perhaps only by reaching beyond the land, into the libraries and tomes written on the skin of the trees and beasts, can such mysteries be made clear. What did you wish to know? It is not a dwarvish or elvish word, but I have heard some of the creatures who pursue you speak that phrase, like a title or a curse. What did you wish to know? There is much of the wild and the land that I know, and as I speak their language, it hears me and it will answer. If you need to speak to the beasts and those who dwell in the land, I can help you do this. There is much they see and know that those blinded to the lands do not see. Sometimes I can shed my skin for a while, take on the form of another of the land's dwellers. There is no magic in it, just the ability to relax the mind. I am still learning its ways, but they will come to me in time. What did you wish to know? Some of the lizard men of the mare are trained in listening to the land, but some merely prey on others, and their ears are filled only by the running of prey in the swamp, rather than the swamp itself. Many of those who listen are now gone. Entire tribes who have vanished. Their absence is causing an imbalance that is swinging more and more out of control as the remaining tribes fight for dominance, or flee the mare. Yes, many lizardman tribes are being driven from the mare into the lands of men, and the war is spreading, weakening the lands surrounding the mare. What did you wish to know?